Hello, everybody. So this is going to be the first one to something I've been holding off for a while because I didn't really tell you guys about this one, but it's something I've been holding in the back of my mind. I'm like, it seems like a perfect time, but then it wasn't, and then it was, and I think this one's a good one. And I feel like you guys are going to like this. And as the title says, it's what if Deku was Mr. Freeze? And now Deku, yes, he's going to be quirked. He's going to have a quirk. I'm going to say right here, it's going to be the most useless quirk out of all quirks he could ever have. And I'm not giving him one for all because I don't want him to have the Batman kind of version of him. So basically the quirk is, you guessed it, he cannot survive in normal heat conditions. He can only survive in the cold. So Deku, his whole life, has been in isolation. He has not seen the outside world at all, really. Like, he wants to be a UA hero. He does all of his studies online. And I would say Bakugo comes around and visits him, but he doesn't bully him. Because I would say Deku, it's kind of like a sad thing, Like, he is in this, room of, like, a special room that's always, like, under zero, and he has to be in this room. So I'm going to say Deku is a lot smarter because he has to study a lot. And I'm going to say when he's, like, I would say 10, because that's the only age I can think of. He makes his first freeze suit. And I would say his first freeze suit is it's like, I'd say something like this. No, more like that actually, yeah. It's like this. He's got 2 containers of liquid nitrogen on the back that go into the suit, and this part pretty much just is the cooling temperature, so only about a little of liquid nitrogen is needed to actually go into this other vat of liquid nitrogen in here, and it pretty much gives him I would say 12 hours of staying out in the cold. And I just realized Batman was there. But yeah, so Deku's gonna be in this freeze suit, and that would be his whole life, really. I would say it's like this one too, actually. But yeah, it is like this one, actually. And I'm gonna say that he makes a suit out of he's isolating the properties in his blood. He uses some of the properties in his blood to understand what's going on. He does all kinds of science. And I'm gonna say that Deku, he figures out how to make his first cold gun. Now, I'm just gonna say this right here. If you guys want me to do, I can do a Captain Cold one, and it's actually not too hard. But I'm going to stick with this one for now. So if you guys want to see a Captain Cold, I will do a Captain Cold. But this is a part of my Gotham series. Well, my DC series, but yeah. So yeah, Deku is going to be Mr. Freeze, and I love this idea too. So I'm going to try and get this going as far as I can, because I kind of have to at this point, because it's such a fun what if. So yeah, Deku, he's wearing this suit. And I'm going to say that the whole Sledge Villain incident, it happens when he's wearing this suit. And I'm going to say it's not unusual for Deku to wear this suit, because I'm going to say it's, actually, this is the suit he wears when he's going out. And this is the suit what he's planning to use for his hero's work. Well, his hero suit. And I'm going to say Deku is using the suit without, the gun. And I'm going to say that he is simply walking back from school because now he's actually going to school. And I would say no one picks on him because they don't exactly know the full extent how Deku can use the suit, because they've seen Deku drop a bit of the liquid nitrogen that he uses to power this core for his suit, and it's frozen the whole entire table. It spread out quickly. And I'm gonna say, yeah, that's pretty much the idea of it. And Deku, he ages a lot differently. So seeing how this is a mutation quirk, he ages like, I would say like he stopped aging at like 10ish. But yeah, he got this suit, and he's it's a mute. It's a no. You know what? How about this? I'll do this for you all. 7 mutation quirk. It's a transformation quirk, whatever it was. I can't remember what they call it instead of a mutation. But yeah, it's that kind of quirk. And story's a little different, but basically he just went into the fucking little tube because his quirk awakened and he kind of had a heat stroke. So that's pretty much all that's different. Like, he had a heat stroke and his skin was turning blue rapidly. And I would say this is during winter. So when he got out into the sun and not sun, but the cold night, he was kind of fine because he was like covering himself with snow and all that because he just wanted to be cold. He was sweating, so they kind of just made this like containment unit for him. So yes, Deku knows Bakugo, and I would say Bakugo thinks of this as like a useless quirk, but at the same time, it's like he can't really bully him because of how this is. You know, now we're just gonna go to the transformation because I don't want him to be bullied too much. It's already a hard life for him. Like, think about it. Like, you don't want to be in a locked up suit like this. So yeah, Deku, he's Mr. Freeze, and he's a transformation quirk. So, well, not transformation, mutation. Yeah, sorry for the retconning. I'm sorry. All right, really sorry. I'm just trying to figure out how this would work better, but mutation quirk. We're going with it. So yeah, Deku, he gets attacked by a Sledgehammer. Something similar happens, but it's not exactly how you would think. So I'm gonna say Deku, when the Sledgehammer attacks Deku, it kind of like I would say Deku he kind of takes out a he kind of like wiggles a tube like right here that shoots out like liquid nitrogen into his system in case it like something bad were to happen. And I would say that he pulls it and he activates it and shoots a bunch of liquid nitrogen on the Sledgehammer and then plugs it back in. So what just happened was Deku just froze the entire Sledgehammer. And the whole Sledgehammer is completely frozen. There's no way of like him to escape really. So I say All Might would come in and he would be like, "Did you do this?" And be asking like, "What's his quirk? I've never seen like a quirk like this." And after getting his autograph, he'd be like, "Okay, thanks for the help and all that, and that you're whatever you're wearing that suit for, or pretty much however your quirk works, you'll make a fine hero." And that warms Deku's cold heart. Yeah, so I get it there. Yeah, alright, cool. So yeah, Deku, he's going to be for the 10 months of training. There's no Bakugo whole thing, so yeah. Anyways, 10 months of training. He's not really training much. Like, he is getting stronger, like, strength-wise, and the arms, legs, and all that, to basically just lift this kind of sluggish kind of suit. And this is kind of like his first suit that he's going to have. And he gets the cold gun, and it's going to be into this thing instead. And this thing is just going to be like, yeah, no, I would say, yeah, it's hooked up to that, and that's hooked up to that, but basically he's just freezing in there. It's freezing cold. And I'm going to say they allow Deku's cold gun, and his cold gun pretty much just looks like this, and it's pretty bad looking. It's like really, really scrappy looking. Like, it's like, you ever seen Mei from Overwatch? I think that's her name. But remember her, like, first like snow gun or whatever it was, her first cold gun? Yeah, it's like that one. It looks a little bit like that one, I would say, but just like that design. So yeah, Deku, for the written exam, he aces it perfectly because he studied a lot. He's like in electrical engineering and cryos, so he's like into the cryo area. He's like a cryophysicist, or however, whatever you call those guys that work in the cryo labs. And yeah, Deku, he's really, really good at this. Like, I would also say that he's also been to like Norway and Sweden, and I would say that he's like gone ice fishing, where you go underwater in the ice and fish. So I think he would do that, and thanks to his quirk, it's not really that much of a problem. Like, I would say he did that when he was 9. No, not 9. 8. But yeah, I would say when Deku... But I'm going to clear this up. When Deku raised his hand, people kind of laughed at him. So yeah, he's either way going to become a hero and be in UA. So when he gets to the practical exam, he gets this gear loaded up on him. Well, he already had the kind of gear. It was just more like this kind of ish, but he had to just put the other gear on. It's kind of heavier and more bulky, but also more protection. He gets his cold gun out. I would say a teacher does talk to him about how the cold gun is and all that, and only he can operate it, and it's like his own invention. So I'd say that it's all right. I'm a little tired here. Now, Deku, he is going to have one thing. He is going to have, I'm not going to give him anything else yet. But yeah, this is it for him. He's just got the cold gun. So I'm going to say, well, with the suit, I would say it gives him a little bit of strength-ish. But no, actually, I know it wouldn't really. Because it's just heavy. So Deku, he's really tall for a kid, I would say. But yeah, he's really tall for a kid, and these are for the Batman What If I'm going to be doing later, so yes. Continuing that, but anyways, let's get back to the hand. Back to the What If. So Deku, when it starts, I would say he never tripped. Well, yeah, he would trip because the armor's heavy and all that. So yeah, he would try and talk to Araka, and same thing would happen in the anime where he wasn't trying to do anything. And I think Ida would be like, okay, it's fine, just I don't know what the suit's for, but you can't really have it, and I think he would say that. And Deku would be like, actually it's for in case I have to wear this or else I'll die of heat stroke. And he'll explain his quirk a little bit, and after explaining that he made the cold gun, I think Ida would be impressed. I think Ida would actually be like, that's actually really amazing. Good job. So, yeah. So what Deku does next is he does something interesting. He pretty much goes at for a long range kind of fight, and he shoots at the robots from afar and gets close to them as well, but freezes them completely, ice encased and everything. And he kind of like makes his own way upwards using the cold gun, creating like an iceberg kind of thing just to launch him upward and create a pathway. And I would say that he also reaches the top of the building and just freezes pretty much a bunch of stuff, and it starts getting cold in this arena. And I'd say he aims his gun at a 0-pointer and he freezes it. Like, only a little bit is needed to freeze these things. So he's like shooting it with a high pressurized version. And I would say when this is like the part where Deku sees Araka trapped, and I would say he's like right above where this happens. Like, he could drop down but break his legs and do this, but that's not what I'm going to have him do. I'm going to have him shoot the whole entire robot, completely freezing it in place. He freezes the entire thing in place, preventing it, and also making like ice stands, like things to hold it from falling forward. So yeah, it is literally encased in ice. And I would say the judges, like, you know, all the teachers would be like, wow, this kid's amazing. And I would say they look through the chart and they'd be like, wow, he made that. That's actually really impressive. And they'd be like, this kid's going to go great in the support class. But also, he just saved that girl. And he's destroyed, like, he's frozen solid a bunch of robots. I think they would be, like, troubled. Where should he go? Should he go to the support class, or should he go to the hero class? So I would say before they, like, the acceptance letters, I think he would be called into UA. And when he goes into UA, he's going to be talking to Nezu, Aizawa, and also the support class teacher. So what he's basically talking to them about is which class would he want to be in. They bring up both good points about how his suit is literally advanced and more advanced than other suits, and some of his knowledge would be a great help for a freeze gun, like people with freezing quirks or heat quirks, and they kind of want him to be in the support class, but also they want him to be in like the hero courses. So what they come up with is Deku will be in the hero class, but do like after school academics in the support class. Like he can come in on like the weekends when they need him, like when they want to consult with him about something, and he can just do this like all by like emails and online stuff. He can like send over blueprints, stuff like that, because these guys on like shop in his room, which is like a really cool like cold area, and there's like vats of liquid nitrogen being made. So yeah, that's kind of like what's going to go on for academic wise. But when Deku comes in for the first day, he already met Aizawa, and I'm gonna say the hero, well, the support class, they kind of already get to work on Deku's hero suit because he's always going to be wearing it. So this is going to be his hero suit. Or, yeah, basically this. Well, that's going to be the next room, but yeah, this is basically going to be his hero suit. And it's going to be a lot bigger, but it's also going to be a type of exosuit, increasing his strength and etc. I would say, yeah, this is basically it. This is actually, no, I would say that one is more of a, no, that basically be it. Yeah, that's it. And the reason for it is because they can't compromise it yet. They haven't gotten any of Deku's input, really. And the support and R&D team, they were really, like, they don't really know how this should work. So Deku, he doesn't need to do the fitness exam because he can't get out of his suit. And even if he did, like, it would give him a heat stroke. So they can't really do this properly. So they don't have him participate in it because they've seen how heavy that, like, first suit was. So him lugging that around, they got a pretty good idea. All they had him do was strength tests. Like, they just pulled off a glove or something. Actually, no, I wouldn't say that. They just didn't give him anything. They just let him be in the support class making his next suit. And I would say that the support class is like really amazed by Deku, and they not only just feel like this, that he's gonna be like the best hero, but they feel like he is gonna be the best like helper in the support class. And I would say the girl that zoom in vision, I can't remember her name, but like she's like really tech wise fun and all that. I think she would be like, her and Deku like hit it off. Sorry, like my thumb keeps hitting it. But yeah, her and Deku would hit off a little bit. Like they would be like talking a lot, and they'd be talking a lot about gadgets and stuff. And I would say that Mineta doesn't get kicked out. I'm going to have it that instead of Mineta getting kicked out, I'm going to have it that the one character I don't like the most gets kicked out. Yeah, that's good. Mineta gets kicked out, and I'm going to give One for All to someone else instead of Mirio, because I don't like Mirio's whole One for All idea. I'm going to go with, I don't know, I might be going with Todoroki or, Invisible Girl. Or, actually, you know what? No. I'm going to go with Araka. No, wait. I'm going to go on the girl with the zoom-in eyes, actually. No, that's a terrible one. I guess Gravity is the best one, actually. Yeah, I'm going to go with Araka. That's the best one I can think of. Because if she can, like, make Gravity increase, not only do you mess the person's bones up, you're messing the person up in general. So, yeah. That's basically what it's going to be. And yeah, I would say she got it just by luck. Like, I think the 10 months of training, like, she got it because of, I would say she didn't really, like, it was the same thing for, Deku at this point, but she had, like, I would say somewhat less muscle than she could actually have than Deku had. So it was a lot more training and harder on her. So, yeah, I would say Deku Out of it all, he's actually one of the strongest with the exosuit, but without it, it's like he's at like I'd say he's like a medium build, you know. So yeah, Deku, he for the next part. Well, actually no, I'm gonna just keep doing it. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep going. I want to keep going with this. So next is the heroes versus villains, and I would say Deku's like almost done with the suit, but after the heroes versus villains, it should be done. So I'm gonna have it that Deku, yeah, he's gonna be facing. Yeah, he's gonna be paired up with the same team, and I'm gonna say that no, I'm gonna say it's different this time. He's going to have, seeing how Migneta's gone, it's gonna be Kendo in the class, and I would say there's going to be some love affairs going on in this, so there's that. So I'm going to say Deku and Araka, they're not teamed up. So I'm going to put Todoroki with Deku. And what's going to happen is Deku has Todoroki move in with him. And I would say Deku's kind of like a tank. Just jump, like, walking through. And I'd say the whole, like, glass here, if it really, it's going to take a lot to break it. Like, really a lot. Like, it's like bulletproof glass at this point. It's not like regular glass. It's like some really hard submarine glass. So I'm going to say that when Bakugo explodes Deku, it kind of just throws him off balance. And I would say Deku just uses his ice gun. And this thing is like weaker. Not weaker. I would say it's a little bit stronger, like bulkier, but also stronger, like way stronger than all the other ones that he's going to have. And it's going to shoot out a blast that just kind of pushes Deku back. And it hits Bakugo, and it smacks him into the wall. Kind of like freezing him, but Deku kind of grabs him out before he freezes completely and throws him into a wall, knocking him out. And then he continues onward. Now let's say Todoroki's already ahead because he kind of just ran by and Deku's just walking. So I would say Todoroki, he's handling Ida, but not really that easily. Like, he's trying to freeze the floor and try and keep Ida from getting anywhere, but it's not going anywhere. So I would say when Deku comes around, he breaks through a wall, puts his gun through, and freezes the entire room. I would say Todoroki survives by using his flames and keeping Ida around, but also the bomb freezes. So I would say Deku here is like just completely beyond savage because he just didn't really care much when it came down to like everyone else. Don't worry about that sound. Yeah, just something. That's better. That was bugging me. Yeah, crap, that fell. Alright, so, yeah, Deku, I wouldn't say he gets in trouble really that much because the gun is just really bulky and powerful for the ice. Like, it's his most powerful cold gun because there's so much liquid nitrogen. So I would say he blames it on the gun. And after comparing it with his other one, it's definitely a fact. This one's more powerful than all of his other ones that he could ever make. So he gets to work on fixing this. But the problem is, fixing this would also mean he has to get rid of the suit. So he kind of like gets to work with the elements. And his next suit is this one. And this one's like the Arkham City one. In fact. So yeah, it's like this one as well. You know, this is actually me as like, what, third suit? No, I'd say fourth, but yeah. Or fifth. But yeah, I think it's his fourth, but yeah, this is gonna be his fifth. But anyways, this suit is going to have that gun. And I'm going to say that Deku, he's, he won the whole Heroes versus Villains, and this is his new suit. So when he goes to the USJ, he's wearing this. So I'm going to say when they get to the USJ, now seeing how Deku's suit, it's like entirely electronical, because he kind of had to, and it's pretty high-tech stuff. I would say that his suit does take a, it does get hit by, like, whatever they use. Like, I think it was an EMP. So I think it would be hit, but it would quickly regain systems because backup energy and stuff. So, yeah. Once he powers it back up, I would say that he is thrown into a on the yacht with Kiasu, or whatever her name is, with Kendo, and what happens is I think Deku would submerge himself in the water, and I think all the villains would try and get him and break the glass or whatever, and I would say Deku, he just kind of like walks to the surface. Because this is a little bit stronger of an exosuit, actually. It's lighter, yes, so he's able to quickly get away. And this thing kind of works like a grenade launcher, actually. So he shoots once, it freezes someone, really. Like, it pretty much hits them, and then encases them. So yeah, he's kind of working with that. And he kind of just gets to the... He gets out of the water, and no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do, before he hits the water, I would say Kendo grabs him and pulls him over. And with Froppy's help. So, yeah. Deku, what he does is, before the villains can even get there, he would just shoot the entire, water and just freeze it. So I think all of them would be freezing cold, and he would just pull them out and freeze their legs. Actually, no, he wouldn't pull them out. They'd be all above. So I think they'd be fine for now. Like, they can survive at least like 12 hours. I don't know how long it would take for hypothermia and all that stuff, but yeah, I think he pulled them out a little bit and just freeze their legs instead, yeah, and their arms. And they'd just be on that ice. Then again, they'd also be wet too, so they're going to be all, like, cold and everything. So I think Deku and Kendo and Froppy they'd just walk off the ice. They'd just walk on it, and I think Deku would have more sturdy ground because of his boots. They're kind of like these. Just with spikes. So yeah, he would get past it, and I would say right when he gets over to the whole fight, he doesn't really get involved. He kind of just shoots all the villains that are like fighting Aizawa, and I would say that the Nomu gets past one of his shots, just breaking the ice, and would punch Aizawa. And that would pretty much knock him down. And I think Deku would go into like a kind of a rage, and he would just shoot the Nomu completely and just freezing it a bunch. And I would say that the Tomura would have the Nomu punch Deku, and it would punch him, and it wouldn't punch like this pretty much. Well, actually, yeah, it'd punch the stomach, because that would just slow him down, and then it'd punch the face, like this part right here, and then hit him in like with a right hook there. And that would break, I would say, containment. And I'd say Deku would instantly back away because his whole suit's pretty much damaged. Send a SOS through a radio channel, or like a code or something to the support class. Because, well, it can only happen when his suit's in critical care. And then he starts shooting the entire Nomu, just full of, like, liquid nitrogen, like, that's high grade, really, just this freezing chemical, and just freezes this thing completely just like pretty much not just encasing it in ice, but like actually giving it like such a cold burn. I would say, well, he froze it so much it died. All right, like he froze the brain, he froze everything about it, and he just unleashed upon so much of it that he ran out of ammo. And I would say, no, he wouldn't run out of ammo yet. I would say that, like, after that, the villains kind of back away from Deku. But they kind of, like, they don't really want to get near him because he's got that gun. So I'm going to say that, one villain was, well, not yet. I'd say one villain was fast enough to grab his gun and steal it from him and shoot his face, hitting the hole in his suit, freezing it, and then shooting Deku a bit. And I would say Deku, he disables the gun at that point, and then the whole gun just explodes, having the whole ground freeze, and Deku, he breaks from it, but everybody else is stuck, except Tomura and Kirigiri, because they escaped when they saw the explosion. I'd say that was like a mission success. And when the heroes come, they see everything just in ice, really. And I'm going to say when the heroes like question Deku, they kind of have to get him like, out of there, because his suit's completely messed up. So he gets into like this special cold area by using the back things, those back liquid nitrogens, and kind of creates like a safe space. Because his suit is basically failing at this point. Barely any ice is going through him to help him out. So he's like almost about to have a heat stroke. So they after that, he kind of gets out of the suit and he's kind of just leaning against the ice. And he kind of starts working on the suit. So he gets like enough to actually get I would say the school brings him this suit. And I would say he gets to the support class, brings this wreckage of a thing, and explains the whole gun thing, and it's a bad idea. So what ends up happening is he gets, through the little vacation he has of training or whatever, Deku is, he makes this thing. He makes the Batman Dark Knight, no, not Dark Knight, Arkham Knight, what am I saying, suit. And what this suit has, it has no gun. So how does he shoot the freeze? It's on his arm. It's a gauntlet thing. So that's what Deku has. And that's how he's going to have it. So Deku's suit is going to be much stronger. It's going to be like the other one, but it's going to be much more resistant to like a right and left hook. I'm going to say the ice. Also, this glass, resistant to ice, heat, anything really, percussion really. And there's another glass that can be brought up to kind of like assist him in case it gets broken. There's 3 other glass layers he can add. And yeah, so Deku's suit, it is completely running off of like a type of liquid that he has made now. And he can put right there, and that will refill the entire system in power and all. And it's like a lifetime supply, really. He can be in this thing for like eons, really. Well, ages, really. And Deku, yeah, he's good in the suit. He's great in the suit. And this is going to be the suit I'm going to try and keep with for the whole entire series. I'm going to say that Deku, he not only just completely nails, he gets away with having this suit in the sports festival because that's coming around. So I'm going to say that he gets away with it. And sports, the ESJ attack, he kind of got praised for it because not only when he, after like the whole incident with his gun, he kind of used some of his liquid nitrogen to kind of help heal Aizawa by putting a bunch of ice on his body to kind of like cool it down. So I'm going to say Deku is now looking into kind of like medical work, He's looking for like ways to help people. So he's kind of like isolated a type of, a type of medicine. And this medicine is going to help the body heal quicker, like Recovery Girl heal quicker. So it's kind of just like an injection he can do with like an injection gun that he's got somewhere. I would say it's like in his gauntlet or something, like in his arm or something, or chest. So yeah, he is going to help people on the field as well. So yeah, that's kind of what Deku's at. And I'm going to say, when he's at the sports festival, they have to let him in with the suit, because it's the only suit that's going to work for him. And I'm going to say that he does have a cold gun. It's going to be like this cold gun now. It's more futuristic, and it's got a magazine that he's going to be running with. When he's going to be like, when he's not going to be in the sports festival or anything. Because this is kind of like a prototype, too. This is going to be a prototype / suit that he wants to use for future times, which is going to be his permanent suit. But when I'm going to be using this suit, I'm going to be using it like for, I don't know, when time comes, I guess. So, yeah, Deku's going to be in the suit. And I'm going to say that Deku, when he's, when the sports festival happens, he kind of just, like, creates ice pillars to just walk on to the whole way through. And these ice pillars, I think he makes it into, like, the mines, and he waits for, I think, what would be, like, everyone else. And I would say, like, when everybody else comes, he kind of just freezes the ground. Yeah, well, I would think he'd do that in the beginning, too. Freezing the ground, making it that only a few people could get out, like Todoroki, if he wanted to. Bakugo, and I would say Ida, maybe? And I probably think, like, Araka. But yeah, he gets through it all, and he's like, yeah, he gets through it all. But also for who would say the speech, I would say it's Deku. Because not only did he prove himself, he did great in the USJ. So Deku, he would say, I do not see myself to be the victor, but if I am the victor, I would have to say, I don't know. I'd say, I hope that everyone has a good time, and that whoever wins won through honor and skill, and just not by a complete cheats kind of way. You know what I mean? Kind of something around those lines. Basically, he just hopes everyone has good luck. And yeah, so that's basically about it. So Deku, he for the that's pretty much for the whole race. He kind of just freezes everybody and gets there first. And yeah, that eliminates like a lot of people. So the cavalry happens, and I would say, who's with Deku, you would ask? Well, I would say Deku's with only one person. Who's this person? Invisible Girl. Because why not? And also, why not? I would say Raka's also there to kind of like give Deku some lightweight speed. Because this is like a medium like version of the other one, but not as bulky. Like, he can run with this one. And I'm going to say, yeah, he can survive, like, radiation in this suit and, like, all kinds of things. And better yet, he's not with Araka. He's with Invisible Girl, but that's about it. So, yeah, he's with Invisible Girl. And, well, actually, you know what? He's with Invisible Girl, Araka. And I would say, you know what? No Invisible Girl. He's gonna be with like the original people that he was with, and he's gonna just create an ice dome kind of thing. But seeing how Shoji doesn't have Mineta, I'm going to have Shoji on Deku's team instead of who was it? It was on his team. That Gadget Girl's gotta stay. So I'd say instead of, what's her name? Well, not her name, but his name. The bird guy. You know what I'm all about. So yeah, instead of the bird guy. And yes, Shoji would be in there, and he'd basically take the place. So Deku would just like freeze everything, and I would say who would be on top. Well, that's a good question. It's gonna be Invisible Girl, because you can't really figure out how you would take it from a girl, like that's invisible too. So yeah, yeah, they freeze the entire thing, and you know what? I'm gonna say yeah, we're gonna keep the guy that's got the shadows, the bird guy. But he's gonna be like covering the back. He's gonna hold up the back, and that's all he's gonna be doing. I don't really think they said it was only like 3 players or whatever. Not 3, but like 3 people on the front. But I think you would ask a teacher if you can have a 4th, or no. How about this? We'll rearrange the teams. It's Bird Guy, Araka, and Tech Girl. That's it. Screw it. We're going with the original. I can't think of anything else. Yeah. But you know what? Actually, hold up. Now that I think about it, I'm gonna retcon something. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna retcon it. Oh, I was gonna have Mignetta stay, but I guess not. I guess Mignetta can be like class B. No, I'm not gonna. No. But yeah, Deku, he's they're just chilling in there. No one like really broke through. It was when they try and break through, it's like solid ice. So the only one that can break it is really Deku, and I would say Todoroki if he wanted to, if he could use his fire and stop being a wimp. And I would say that yeah, that's basically about it. So yeah, they win like that, and Deku just breaks free from it. I would say Shoji also could break it, but he would need to like spend an hour on it. And I would say Momo could too, but she would need like focus, like cannon on it. So yeah, Deku, what he does for the duel, I would say he gets warned about Shinso. And what he does to Shinso is simple. Freezes him. He freezes his mouth. Not freeze his mouth, but shoots freezing on his body and just makes him surrender. And I would say he says surrender. That's it. And I would say Shinso does. And then he breaks him free from the ice and then has him on his way. Next is Deku versus Todoroki. Yeah. One's immune to the cold, one is not. So, Deku, I would say that Todoroki tries to freeze Deku, not knowing about the suit too much, because I don't think anyone asked, until, like, the USJ, and I don't think Todoroki was there yet. So, Todoroki freezes Deku, and I would say that after freezing him, I would say that Deku is, kind of just breaks free and is like, and just freezes Todoroki. And I would say that kind of just makes Todoroki want to use his fire, but he doesn't want to. And the whole thing happens again, like in the anime, and a few other what-ifs I've done. And Todoroki uses fire. And Deku, he just freezes him with, even if he's using the fire. I would say he uses both gauntlets trying to freeze Todoroki, and it uses a lot out of him. And when he uses it, he goes like to full power, because he's been going on 25%. So when he goes to full power, he's like overwhelming Todoroki slowly but surely, and he does overwhelm him and freeze him. And it's not like it almost froze him solid, because he had to like style it down once he got to the point. When he froze him, it made Endeavor just be like, yay, aw. So, yeah. I would say, yeah, Deku is now going to be facing Bakugo, and what he does is he just freezes the ground, and when Bakugo comes towards him, he just grabs him by the arm and throws him out of the ring. Done. Like, Pretty much, almost. Because then I think Bakugo would explode his hands again, and Deku would just freeze him, grab him, throw him out of the ring. Done. And yeah, Deku would win. So you're probably wondering how many internships did Deku get? Well, he got actually quite a few, because no one really knows how that suit works. Like, Endeavor actually wants to know what's the story behind the suit. A lot of people are looking in like him, they're like, wow, this kid's amazing. What's his quirk? And I would say the quirk that they named it is called Frozen Hell. And what basically, when they read the whole thing about his quirk, when they are, I would say they would have to read about the quirk, about when they intern him, and I think they'd be like shocked to know that is all about him. That's all him. That whole suit is all him. So I would say that they are amazed, really. So, yeah. So for the Stain arc, because I kind of want to do this part real fun and fast, I would say Deku's hero name, it's gonna be, what would it be? I would say it'd be, Freeze. Mr. Freeze, yeah. And, yeah, I think that's about it. I can only say, like, he'd probably be Freeze or Dr. Freeze. Like, yeah, it's funny. I never liked how they did Mr. Freeze's name. Like, I get, like, you did a good job-ish, but, like, come on. Like, if you don't know the story of how, like, Freeze's name is, it's his last name. Mr. Freeze's last name is Fries, and it's just bad spelling. If you think about it, Fries. Come on, think about it. You know what I mean? Like, if someone butchered your name into Freeze, come on. It would be a little insulting. But yeah, I would say Deku. Yeah, he goes to I would say it's, I don't know, actually. I don't know who he should go to. I'm gonna probably stop here. No, I'm gonna have him go to Endeavors. And when he goes out patrol, he knows about Ida's whole thing. And I would say that after learning about the whole suit and everything, and if he can make something similar for Todoroki to enhance his quirk, no, I'm not gonna have that. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have it that Deku is with who should I have him with? I'm just gonna stop here. Put in the comments if you guys want me to make a character up for Deku, or if you want me to put him with someone. I don't know. So put in the comments, tell me. I'll try and do my best on the next part. So yeah, have a good day, a good night, and I'll see you all later. Peace out.